I don't have the right blade for this right now. Can't film it very good. Don't want to cut myself. I'm trying to do this in a way that anybody could do it. So what I did was I took a bottle cap and traced around that after I marked how wide the lure was with it on there. That's the best way I can explain it, but let's move along. Alright, we sanded our lead hole with the super glue and baking soda. Only way we know if we got that right, you gotta think of it as body work. Just later on we're going to spray paint that white. And then we're going to look for any imperfections that we need to fix or anything. And right now we're working on this lip. Cut it close as you can. You want to keep it a little bit big because that Lexan will melt. That's 1/8 inch thick, and you can use belt sander, but it'll melt on you. I glued sandpaper 80 grit to a block of wood, nice and flat. We're just going to rub it on there till we get what we want. Keep test fitting it. I'll show you here in a minute. Now what I've done here is I've taken this is a pill bottle I made a long time ago. Perfect shape for this thing. I'm holding it flat against that flat edge. I marked around it there with a Sharpie marker. I peeled this side of the paper off, it was in the way. But you'll get a burr as you go, and you got to pick them burrs off there, but I'm getting rid of all the black. And the important part is when you put that in there, you want them flat edges to meet right up against the lure, and you want it as symmetrical as possible. That way when it's digging through the water, you're trying to eliminate as much of that rolling up to one side as possible. Now you don't have to get it perfect, because you can tune that by bending that wire right there. Now we haven't glued that in yet because we're not done. Some of them I do through wire, cut a slot all the way up the belly right there. Tie the wires together, that way nothing comes out ever. But this holds real good. We'll show you here in a little bit. See you at the buffing wheel. Now if you ain't got no buffing wheel, that's alright. Use a piece of leather, or leather and toothpaste, a little rough compound to make it smooth out. Or you can just leave that cloudy, it doesn't matter, the fish don't care. We'll keep working on it and get back at you. Now we've got that clear as we want it. It's going to beat on the rocks anyway. And I haven't put that hook eyelet in there yet because I haven't decided exactly where I want it just yet. I don't want the hooks to tangle up. And it's going to be close, I think. So, oh yeah, we didn't glue these in because we're going to dip it in polyurethane and seal the whole bait for some testing here in a little bit. Let me show you. Alright, I'm going to dip this in some polyurethane left over from a project. You can wipe the whole thing in super glue instead, or frickin' shellac it, or spray on, or whatever you want. You just want to seal that wood good enough. Hang on a minute, I gotta use both hands. There we go. We just wanted to seal that good enough that water never gets in it, because we're going to test it before we paint it. Now I got to take a paper towel and get it out of the lip slot some, and the eye socket some. And I left them wires in there so it can drip without dripping on the wood. And I'll watch it for, oh, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and touch the drips off with a paper towel, and we'll continue on. There we go. She stopped dripping. We're just going to let her dry good. That's oil based, so it's going to take a little while. I'm going to run to the post office or something, and when I get back, it should be dry enough we can glue her up and get almost to the point of no return. I'll get back with you here in just a second. Alright, we've got everything drilled, ready to go. One thing we're going to do, put a couple drips of super glue on these. Let me get my pliers there. Stick them down in there and lined up the way we want them. Now, keep from getting super glue on my camera. I'll do the other two off camera and I'll get back. Now for the lip, I'm not going to do the lip on camera, I don't think, because like I said, I don't want to get super glue on my camera. And trying to keep super glue off of that, of course. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of baking soda down in there because it ain't perfect. And I kind of did that on purpose. A little more than I'd hoped, but if I put that lip in there, see, I can move it. That leaves a gap at the bottom because I think I'm going to put it about like that. The angle of that lip determines how deep it digs and whatnot. But you can see that moving right there. I cut my slot too wide. I think I did that with sandpaper. But you put that baking soda in there and a couple drips of super glue, push that down in there. We're bedding it down in there real good. That way there's no gaps. We want that as strong as possible. And that super glue and baking soda is pretty tough. But I'll get back to you and show you here in a second. Alright, while the super glue's still wet, we got her in there and I think we've got it about where we want it. It looks like we do. You can still move it around a little bit if you put enough super glue in there. It don't dry as fast. I got her in there. I'm going to put just a little bit of baking soda up around that bottom there where the gap was at. There we go. That wet super glue soaked her up. We'll be able to sand that real easy right there. The time we paint it, it'll look real good. I think a little bit of sanding and we're ready to go test this thing. We still have to do some clear coat after we make the eyeballs. You can paint eyeballs, but I'm gonna make them, you'll see. Look at that belly. I think I'm happy with it. And let's just make some eyeballs. Then we'll put clear coat on it and we'll go fishing. What we done there was black in the eye socket, and then orange, and then yellow, and then I swirled it a little bit with a toothpick. We'll fill it with clear epoxy. Then we'll put the pupil on, and it gives it a 3D, I'm watching you walk across the room kind of look. And then we'll clear coat the whole thing. We're ready to go. Just a little bit of copper flake. This is 5-minute 2-part epoxy. I'm starting to like that JB Weld brand. It's really hard to do this and film it. A little bit on toothpick. Let it run down the toothpick into the eye socket. You only got 5 minutes to do it, so that's not enough. Try to keep it off the lure. Okay, I've babysat this thing for about 6-7 minutes. The copper flake might got more in there than I wanted, but that's okay. It looks cool. Sunshine seemed to brought the bubbles out of it. If you get bubbles, don't worry about it. They look cool too. Wish that camera would focus better. Time we put a pupil on that and clear coat it, it'll have a 3D look. I just like them better than painting them. You really got to watch it when they're bulged out like that. You don't want to sag. I got a little sag there towards the lip, but we'll be okay time we put a finish on it. I hope y'all can see that. Ooh.